The best salespeople in the world are the ones who do it without you even noticing. Everyone's a salesperson, especially if you're an entrepreneur. In the I'm Not Salesy podcast, join me, Cassie McKenzie, and my fabulous guests as we dive into the top strategies, mindset, and energetics around sales and money so that you can hear more, yes, I'm in, instead of crickets or getting ghosted. So if you're ready to fully book out your programs with aligned AF clients and have people chasing you down in your inbox, asking how to work with you, then subscribe to this podcast today and become not salesy too. The best salespeople in the world are the ones who do it without you even noticing. Everyone's a salesperson, especially if you're an entrepreneur. In the I'm Not Salesy podcast, join me, Cassie McKenzie, and my fabulous guests as we dive into the top strategies, mindset, and energetics around sales and money so that you can hear more, yes, I'm in, instead of crickets or getting ghosted. So if you're ready to fully book out your programs with aligned AF clients and have people chasing you down in your inbox, asking how to work with you, then subscribe to this podcast today and become not salesy too. All right. Now, I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 on how persuasive you believe yourself to be. Go ahead, I'll wait. Just rate yourself, whatever first number comes to mind, because today we're diving into the topic of mastering the art of persuasion and how you can use this for your own business without being like salesy. It's basically a lot about influence as opposed to persuasion. So we're going to dive into this today because I get the sense that a lot of people feel like if you're trying to persuade people to do something, then you're trying to make them do something they don't want to do, which is not correct, in my opinion. I mean, or you're trying to persuade them to do something that is not good for them. But let me tell you, every night at 7 o'clock at night in my house, I have to persuade my kids to get in the shower. And if you tell me that's bad for them, then I'm going to tell you you're crazy and you're high off your ass, because it's just about, to me, something way different than what most people think when they hear the word persuasion. And here's why. There's a lot of really crappy people out there that use persuasion in a really gross, icky way. Like if you think of back in the 90s, it was used car salesmen, right? And how come they get a bad rap is because a lot of times they're trying to, back then it was like, oh, they're trying to sell you a car that is a piece of shit. And, they're persuading you to get things added onto it you don't need to get, or, like giving you a bad deal. But really, if you're going to be really good at sales and feel good selling and feel confident selling, which is literally like the whole point of it, and feel like, and I know people say selling is service. I think that sounds boring as hell. So I don't really like to say that. I know I may have said it a time or two, but honestly, in my core and in my heart, I think it's kind of fucking boring to say selling is service. So I don't really want to say that either. But really what selling is, to you, it's improving your conversion rates, improving the amount of times that you say that you hear yes. Becoming somebody who can talk about what you're selling in a way that makes people want to buy it. And then you're not making them want to buy it out of a sense that they don't need it. You're making them want to buy it out of a sense of, hell yeah, I didn't, I know I'm not where I want to be. I didn't really know what exactly the problem was. I've been sitting here saying like, what the hell? What's going on? I know there's a blind spot. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know why I don't have the result yet. And then voila, you show up showing me what this result is and that you've gone through it and that you've gotten to the other side of it too. And that gives me hope that I can get through it as well. Right? That is honestly like sales broken down in the easiest way possible. And if you're leading from like your heart and soul, which I know is like generic AF to say that because so many people have said that, and it like that's kind of boring too. But like, let's go with intuition. If you're in this flow state where you are being intuitively, like your intuition, like your inner powerhouse is just allowing things to come out of your mouth without restriction, and you're in this flow state that feels like, holy crap, I could conquer the world. I know where I'm going. I know where I'm getting there. And here's how I'm going to help you get there too. That is magic. So that is an art. That's an art form. So that's why I say this is really about mastering this art of influence and mastering. And when you're mastering this art of like influencing people, then you're helping to persuade them to do the shit that they should be doing anyway. So let's break this down a little bit, because I want you to understand persuasion from a lens of trust and credibility, because here's where people go wrong. If you were one of those people who thought, well, I'm not really that persuasive because I don't do crappy shit to people when I'm selling to them, well, then that could be a big block of yours, because you might not want to use a set. Like let me tell you, I've been in sales for 24 years, and I get this because I'm this way too, where I start to get in my head about, oh my God, are they going to know I'm selling to them? And of course, duh, people are going to know you're selling to them. Like, that's what you're fucking out. Like, you got to make money. You got a business. You got shit to sell. People know you're selling to them, but are you selling to them the things that they actually need and gaining their trust, and then having the credibility because you back that up with doing the shit that you say you're going to do? And then for that reason, they have a positive experience working with you and buying from you. And voila, you've gained their trust. And it's all about having that line of integrity between what you say when you sell, what you promise when you sell, and what's actually delivered from your end, so that they can get the best result, right? And this isn't just with like coaching offers or services that you're selling. You could be selling gas on the side of the road. And if I'm just saying, well, here's gas and it's diesel and you don't have a diesel car, but I just send you on your way, and then all of a sudden your car breaks down, like that's not going to really help to, build your trust. You're not going to come back to my gas station. But if you have like a Mercedes and you come in and I'm like, well, what kind of car do you have? Like, do you have a diesel Mercedes or do you have an unleaded? Do you need, do I need to give you regular or the high test? And here you go. This is going to make your car, run really, really smoothly. And then you have a positive experience and you come back. I mean, that's pretty basic of an example, but, let's dive into reasons why you might have where shit can go wrong. Okay. Because if you currently feel like you could use some help with persuasion and with, upping your ability to get what you want out of a sales interaction, while also knowing in your heart that they're going to get what they want out of the sales interaction, which then of course is going to lead to that trust being built and it being effective, then here's how to diagnose this. All right. Because I know you self-identified when you came in, right? Whether you think you're great at persuasion, you can use some extra help or not. And here's some things, here's some ways to know if you need to feel more confident in selling, which is what this really comes down to. It's a little bit of strategy, but also feeling confident when you're delivering that strategy. But if you are currently having sales conversations with people and for all of a sudden, you have really low conversion rates, or people are ghosting you, or you're asking for the proposal and then you never hear from them again. If it's really difficult for you to seal the deal and to not just get a yes, but get a payment on the other side and get a start date with people set, whether you are selling to corporations or to consumers or to charities or whatever, pitching charities for your services or pitching corporations for your services, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to these metrics. Also, another one that might show up that's a little more a little more in your face that affects how you sell. And this is a biggie because this will affect your confidence and how much you're willing to do and continue doing, even when it looks like you're in a bit of a sales slump, in order, like to keep going. And this is all around feeling unheard or misunderstood. Okay. So if for some reason while you're selling, and typically how this may play out is you decide, you get on a sales call, you go online, you sell your heart out, you make the Insta stories, you start to not really get you get a lot of people looking, but not a lot of conversion rates. Maybe you get on a lot of sales calls, but everybody just kind of like peters out. And you start feeling like nobody's listening to me. Nobody is hearing what I have to say. Nobody's paying attention, or you feel like they just don't get you. You're just misunderstood. However you're explaining this or verbalizing your offer, it's not landing enough for them to see the value to hire you. And you might say things like, well, people just buy my free stuff, but they never pay for my, for the paid offers, or they like it when I help them in the DMs, or when they, send me an email and I reply, or on a phone call or whatever. But when it comes down to paying me, they don't want to pay me a lot of money for it. And so you may feel like you're not feeling heard and misunderstood. And we're going to dive into each of these in a second. So, because in order to be really persuasive and just out yourself here, maybe you're coming out with like a little bit of awareness, which is so powerful. It's so powerful when you get to that moment where you're like, oh yeah, yep, those are some things that are going on for me right now. And there's no shame in your game. These things go on for me too. Let me say, sometimes I've launched offers and not had people buy for like a couple months. And I have to diagnose it myself or with my coach or whatever. I actually launched an offer for like 5 months and nobody bought. And that was like, what the fuck? What is going on here? But see, the mistake I made is that I didn't look into what I'm going to tell you in this episode. I did not go to the depths, and this episode is going to be so powerful for you. And this is a taste of what it's like working with me in, as a mentor too, because these are the things we're going to start to look at. But if you want to improve those conversion rates and make more sales, if you want to feel like you are heard and understood, and you're a very persuasive communicator, and you can just, that any offer you drop or any sales conversation you have is going to end in a yes, like it's no doubt. If you want to have that like certainty and doubt-free way of being where shit's going to sell, right? Like it's going to sell, and you won't be giving up on yourself anymore, then listen to this, okay? So typically here is, I'm going to give you 3 main mistakes that people make that I notice in my coaching, in my mentorship, in my own experience, in my own job in pharmaceutical sales, and working with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of clients. Here's where it comes down to. Number 1, generic sales pitches. Okay? If you're looking at your sales pitch and you're saying things like, you're going to make more money, you're going to save more time, you're going to feel great, you're just going to lose weight, you're going to be able to, love yourself more, things like that, or having looking at what other people are using as their sales pitch and then using it as yours. These kind of generic sales pitches are not going to convert well for you, because you need to add your own special spice in there and feel comfortable with getting down into the details of what's really going on in your ideal client's head. And in order to do that, there's got to be a little more work that needs to be done from your end on the back end to understand the problems that they're facing, very specific problems that they're facing, so that you can combine them with the solutions. Okay. And the thing that stops you from doing this, the self-sabotage piece that stops you, is overthinking, not thinking it's perfect enough yet, procrastinating on doing the market research because you, quote, don't know where to start, or especially maybe not wanting to look like you are debranding yourself. And so you don't want to reach out or use market research or even ask former, people why they didn't buy from you, and or not reach out to people to find out like what their main problems and concerns really are. Okay? So if you feel like nobody's listening to you, nobody's taking action from, the content that you write or the sales calls you get on or the emails you send out, podcast episodes you record, and nobody's taking action when you're calling them to take action, take a look at your sales pitch and run that through the lens of, is it generic? Do you need to improve your messaging there? And if you do, I recommend my Add 10K in the DMs course, because we go really deep into content and messaging and how to lay that out in a way that's going to speak to a very specific type of client who's going to buy from you. And then this bleeds into the next one, where if it's difficult for you to close deals, then you need to dive even more deeper into understanding those customers' pain points. And I know people say, oh, pain point marketing. I'm not saying that you dig in and make them feel like a piece of shit. I'm saying you understand what problems that they're facing right now, because chances are they know that they have a problem, but they're not really sure exactly what it is. And when you have such a deep understanding of these pain points that they're facing, like for my clients, I know that you're, a very high achiever and a peak performer, and you've always done well your whole life, and you put a lot of pressure on yourself to perform and put a lot of pressure to, to be the best, and put, emphasis on results and how much money you're making. And so when things aren't adding up and when you're not making the money that you want to make, you start to feel shit about yourself and question if you're worth it, or if you are a fraud, or if you like I'll give you an example from mine. Like, as somebody with 24 years of sales experience, when I put an offer out and I don't make sales immediately or even within like the first week, I say, like, there's a bitch inside of my head that says, oh, are you really that great at sales? Or was it just luck? Was it just luck that you made 10 million in a year and it was just because of outside factors and not really because you're that good at sales? Because could you tell somebody else how to sell this right now? How come you can teach everybody else, but you can't do it yourself? That's the kind of like bitchy level bullshit that your inner bitch inside your head is going to try to tell you. And it's like, bitch, I got no room for you. But like it pops up. That's why we have breath work, to move through that and to become aware of these voices, because a lot of times these voices go unchecked. And when they go unchecked for too long, you start to see the results in your bank account, where you're not signing clients, you're not making sales, you're not making as many sales as you did before. Maybe you're having a lot of refund requests, or you're not finishing a launch. You're quitting and pulling the plug before you get to the finish line. And so a lot of my job as a sales mentor, especially with big sales breath work, is to stop this connection between your mind and that inner bitch that's telling you all of these stories about why you can't do what you really want to do. To stop this inner bitch from having so much real estate in your mind, because if it goes unchecked, it's going to tell your nervous system that having success is dangerous and it's not worth it. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of energy. And if signing clients was this hard, if signing this one client into this offer was this hard, imagine signing 100. That's going to take 100 times more time. And like, this is the logic that your brain tries to put itself through. And to break that connection and remove these bullshit stories, we have to go to the body, and we have to take out the tension that's in your diaphragm when you start to think about, oh my God, what if my sales are closing up? Or that knot in your stomach that's like, oh gosh, what if it takes a whole month to get another sale? You know, it took a month to make this first one. What if it's a month to sign another client? How am I supposed to survive? How am I supposed to pay the bills next month? How am I supposed to support my family? Right? Now, so do you see where mastering this art of persuasion and getting your mind and body on board is so important? Because the art of persuasion isn't just the words that you're saying. The art of persuasion is a piece of the puzzle. It's the strategy behind how you're formulating your words. You're creating this, these problem awareness points in your marketing that connect you as the solution. And in order to do that and see it through, this body work is so important. And that's why I do big sales breath work. That's why I started a high value membership called Breathe Your Way to Millions, where we're going to help you get to the finish line. We're going to help you make those sales, and we're going to help you get over all of these internal stories, help them, come up from the surface and stop being hidden in the shadows so much, so that you can really see your vision so crystal clear. And when you're driven by that bigger vision and that bigger movement, and not just validation and sales results and money as the gold standard, when you're it's one thing to hustle your way to a goal, but that's not sustainable. It's a whole nother ballpark to do it with joy on your terms, right? I hate to use the word on your terms, but to do it from a place of alignment, from, not burning out and not having this constant wrestling in your head of just one more, and being able to really have that influence that then brings the validation inside. Because underneath, we all are afraid of getting rejected. We all are afraid that we're not persuasive enough. And we're all afraid that, we're going to lose credibility if we promise something that we can't deliver, or if we can't make the sales that we really want to make. And if your business, if you're not, how it goes is, in your mind, you think, well, if I'm not persuasive, I'm not going to make sales. And if my business doesn't make sales, then I can't claim this high income month. And if I can't claim this high income month, then it means that I'm a shitty business owner and nobody's going to hire a shitty business owner. But that doesn't have to happen. We can stop that chain reaction right now with big sales breath work, and with locking up your messaging and making your sales pitches more specific to the type of person who you want to buy, and also understanding the solutions that you bring to the table so that you can have, not just higher conversion rates, but triple your sales month over month and close any deal that you want to close, and then actually be able to turn away clients that you don't think are a good fit, as opposed to feeling pressure to have to close every deal and wondering where your next sale is going to come from. So I hope this helped with really mastering that art of persuasion for you, because it honestly does come down to having more specific sales pitches designed specifically for that type of person that you want to buy, that you're giving yourself permission to work with, and understanding the problem and solution combo to a very specific detail, so that the person on the other side is like, holy shit, you can help me because you just told me exactly what's going on here, and you told me you fixed it for yourself. And so you're going to be able to help me fix it for myself too. This is amazing. I love it. That's the type of buyer I am. Just FYI. And also being able to have those communication skills and have that, have a sense of understanding how to get people to buy from a buyer psychology perspective, which, by the way, I also cover in depth in Add 10K in the DMs. If you're interested in that, you can DM me and I will hook you up with the link, and it's all self-paced, so you can start it today. But when you have buyer psychology at the center, which is literally all about what's in it for them. Okay. Your buyer saying, what's in it for me? What is in it for me? Like, why the hell should I care? So what? Who cares? So when you're out there pitching people, here's the number one tip I can give you. Practice your pitch to yourself. And with every point that you make, ask yourself, so what? Who cares? And if you can answer that even more specifically, then put that in your content instead of the previous question. And so always take this a layer deeper and deeper and deeper of, so what? Who cares? So if I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to help you make sales. Okay, well, great. So what? Who cares? So can that person over there? Yeah, well, I'm going to help you triple your sales without burning out. So what? Who cares? Okay. Well, I'm going to help you triple your sales so you have more recurring income, you have more financial stability, you're not worrying about where your next sale is going to come from, a repeatable process to do that. And therefore, if you're not burning out, then you're able to have a sustainable business that keeps providing for you over and over and over again and gives you that peace of mind so that you're never wondering where your next sale is going to come from. And you have no doubt as to whether an offer is going to sell or not, or a product's going to sell or not. So do you see how, that digs in even deeper, deeper, deeper into the thoughts that are actually going on in your customer's head? And that is the art of persuasion. That's what brings you influence, and influence will bring you income. That's the chain reaction that we want to create in your brain, where it is safe to be persuasive because you're actually helping them see what is in it for them, not what's in it for you. It's more about what's in it for them. And you're able to create a sense of influence for yourself where you are the shit and you are like the person, the go-to person that they have to hire. And then when you're able to do that, then the income continues to come and roll in greater and greater and greater amounts. Because when you have the trust and you are credible with your audience and with the people who buy from you, then you start to have these connectors who then tell other people about you. And it's like having a publication printed in a newspaper or in a magazine where that just because they see you as, a reference, they've got a reference for you, and you're not a stranger anymore. You're somebody who's like a thought leader as opposed to just a person on the internet. So go get your thought leader on and let me know what you thought of this episode. I want you to go ahead and share it with 10 of your friends. Share this with 10 of your friends that can use it and that require this as a part of their development as well. And I also invite you, if you're curious about how breath work can help you triple your sales without burning out and help you overwhelm proof your business and stop you from stopping yourself before the finish line, and really have this this business that you're not just proud of, but you can have as sustainable, that will grow a lot over and over and over and over and over again for you, then come along and check out Breathe Your Way to Millions, because this is going to be such a fun container to be in. And I know that there's a lot of people just like you who are in that same exact place who will be in it with you as well in Breathe Your Way to Millions. So DM me if you have any questions and you want to join. Right now it's a 6-month container, so it's a 6-month experience at least, and then you can sign on for longer because I know you're going to want to. And we're at the founders pricing currently. The price is eventually going to go up and up and up as we build out the vault, and when you see how much value this will bring to your business and to your life. Breathwork has completely changed my life, and I want it to change yours too. Have a great day, and I'll talk with you soon. I am all about you making a shit ton of sales and doing it in a way that doesn't compromise your body, helping you to hit this peak performance without overthinking and overcomplicating things. And I really 100% believe in the power of breath work to do this and to help you overwhelm proof your business. And in doing that, it allows you to make money. This is where like the ease and the flow comes in. It allows you to make money without having to compromise your health, without having to be working 24/7, without succumbing to your doubts and your fears and your, imposter syndrome, the voice in your head saying that you're a fraud for not making the sales that you should be making by now because you should be further by now. Instead, I want you to drop the fluctuating sales numbers, and I really want you to have that predictable sales and revenue growth, to increase that consistency of sales coming in, and to have this resilient body and mindset that makes you impermeable to any challenges, right? That allows you to break through any sales plateaus and overcome obstacles like a pro and really hit next level after next level after next level. And I truly believe the best way to do this is with breath work and with and in going down into the body to breathe your way into millions and to breathe your way into this state where you change your state, you change your life. We've all heard that. At least if you had it, you have now. And in doing that, you literally are going to change your whole life. So if you are interested in that, and if you want me to be your guide in this, I invite you to join me in Breathe Your Way to Millions, because this is the exact work that we're doing. And here's how it's going to work. Every week we have 2 live calls, and I do 2 kinds of breath work. One is the activation breath work. They're like quick and dirty little 8 to 12 minute sessions that get you out of the stuck state. These are like shift your state, shift your outcomes, right? So these get you out of the stuck state. They move you through it. They show you what's happening. And then I literally shift you in the energy of getting shit done, attracting clients, opening up your energy field for people to come forth, which means you're making more money. You're not sitting there overthinking things so much. The procrastination goes away because you have a tool to work through it in just a matter of 10 minutes. I mean, fucking magic. How often have you sat there procrastinating for hours on something? You won't be doing that, because these are going to be specially tailored for these sales situations that I've been in for 25 years, girl. I know about them. Okay. So, and then the other session that we're going to have each week is an expansion session. So these are where your massive breakthroughs will come through. These are where you're laying there breathing for about 25 minutes, and I'm taking you through a hypno breakthrough breathwork process where we release what's limiting you and blocking you, and we really get to the root of it through the process that I take you through. And then I connect you with your, releasing the stuck shit that's in your body, the things that have been keeping you paralyzed in inaction, in not taking action, and then connect you with breakthroughs around your vision. And the breakthroughs, these are the sessions that I'm having with 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs right now, and they're telling me that they've been stuck with these issues for 2 months, and one 30-minute session with me released it and gave them the answers to pull the puzzle together on something that they'd been racking their brain on their own for months and months. So these are powerful sessions. So you're going to have one of these per week, one of the activations per week. As we start to grow this, the vault, you get access to all the replays. And this is a 6-month container, because this is not just about having one session a week, This is about doing it, having a session to look to every single day. And there's already some pre-recorded breathworks that are going to be in your vault when you join. But I want to make this like a really high value experience. We're going to have a Telegram group too, where you can share your wins, but also give me like riff requests and breathwork requests as we build out the vault. And if we need to add more calls, or if I need to record other breathworks as we go, I will, because I love it and it's so much fun for me. But the whole point of this is to give you the tools that you need to be able to get this shit out of your body and start to really work towards aligning your mind and your body with the success in those higher income months. And, breathing your way into that $1 million business that you and I both know you're meant to have. So if that sounds good, I want you to reach out to me on Instagram at XOCassieMcKenzie. And we are enrolling now. The first 10 people who enroll will get a 2 bonus calls with me. The first 10 people who enroll will get 2 bonus calls with me to create your very own custom breathwork. And this custom breathwork is going to be yours to keep. It's going to be private to you, and it's going to be especially designed for the exact breakthroughs that you're seeking around a specific issue that you're working through as well. And you'll be able to do it over and over and over again as you have your business. So if this sounds great to you, reach out to me, grab one of those first 10 spots. You're going to want to do it. The program itself is going to start in mid-June when I return from Greece. And I can't wait to see what you and I create together. This is going to be so much fun. Tell 10 of your friends about this podcast episode. I really invite you to invite them here. They're going to want to be a part of this. If they are an entrepreneur, they're going to want to be a part of this podcast as we grow. And if you want to share any big takeaway that you had in this episode, then tag me on Instagram at XOCassieMcKenzie or shoot me a DM. I love to hear your feedback and I'd love to hear from you. Thank you. I'll see you next week.